Hop Beatmaker, episode 3. You know where we at, y'all. Make sure you cop the extended DVD on the show. Pre-order it at www.myspace.com/the Hip Hop Beatmaker. Again, www.myspace.com/the Hip Hop Beatmaker for $10, $5 shipping and handling, PayPal. Do it, support the show, cop a hoodie or whatever. Before we get in the show, I want to talk about, well, in the editor section, which is now, that right now a lot of guys in the computer-based era who use Reason, like myself, or Fruity Loops, or Project 5, some guys don't respect the analog era. You gotta respect the analog era. Back then, before we had all of these niceties and things like that, we had hardware. I remember rocking with the Tascam 4-tracker. That's before a lot of you kids was even around. With a Mackie board, I had my Boss 550. Back then I had the Boss 500. That was in 91, before some of you kids was even born. You wasn't even thought of. Your mom and dad were playing hooky from school. I had that linked up to my Roller MS1 sampler. You know what I'm saying? Triggered the beats from the Boss. Triggered the samples from here. I triggered them from the Boss drum machine, and that's how I made a beat. Another thing that led me to the computer-based era was the wires. I hated all these wires, trying to ground everything. And so, you know, I made the switch when it became possible. When I saw Cubase and stuff like that, and they were on the verge with the virtual studio technology, I jumped on it because I got tired of the skyrocketing prices of hardware, and I was looking for a medium because I wanted to be mobile. You just can't be mobile with a whole bunch of hardware. But nonetheless, I still respect the analog era, and I still respect its purpose today, because a lot of guys who was back then with me remember, you know, the real and so forth, you know, Fostex. I mean, back then the only thing computer based we had was Cakewalk, you know what I mean? So I respect the analog era, and you guys should too. Remember, the producer segment is going to be on Marly Marl, and we're going to be talking about Waves plugins. So make sure you pay attention. Don't forget to cop the extended DVD. Visit me on MySpace. You know, support the show, the Hip Hop Beatmaker. You know how we do. One. Yo, this is KOS for the Hip Hop Beatmaker Show. As you can see, Pro Tools, now Cubase, and then Cakewalk, and then it's going to be Reason. In all these programs, you can use automation. As you can see, all the tracks are laid out. Nothing is in a destructive manner. When you have everything laid out and you do automation via the mutes, as you can see, you can cater a song around an artist on the fly. As you can see, the mutes clearly. You know, this type of track arrangement allows you to have multiple mute arrangements. Now check out how this sounds. See? As we let the beat ride a little bit, you can see the changes on the fly. This type of working is much better than locking yourself to a pattern. Because when you're locked into a pattern, you gotta go right back to MPC or whatever you're using just to recreate that feel again. Let me let it ride out, y'all. KOS, Hip Hop Beatmaker, you know we do one. Yo, what's up, everybody? This is KOS for the Hip Hop Beatmaker Show, episode 3, the producer segment. Today's producer, we're going to be talking about Marly Marl. One thing to remember, Marly Marl was putting it down before some of you kids was even born, before you was even a twinkle in your daddy's eye, while we was playing with blocks. It wasn't even thought of. Marly Marl, I remember when he was putting it down on 107.5 with Mr. Magic. We used to stay up late. My boy used to have the boom box and record it on the I think it was the Greatest Maxell tapes that was back then, the hottest tapes you could have. And when he used to break in a song, it would be like, yo, it's a world premiere. If you look at Roxanne Shante, Roxanne, check the video. Marly Marl is in it. Marly Marl been putting it down for a minute. I mean, Juice Crew, he was involved in a lot of their projects, from Coogee Rap to Big Daddy Kane, No Half Steppin', Set It Off, LL, Mama Said Knock You Out. He brought you Lords of the Underground, executive producer, I believe. Marly Marl, basically, his sound, he was a pioneer. So basically, in a nutshell, his sound is what it is. It was the real raw hip hop. Because you got to remember, back then, there really wasn't no such thing as crossover beyond Run DMC and Walk This Way. The music was original. I mean, it walked the lines of different things. Some people say he didn't use samples. So he did. To me, he was working off of a little bit of both. To me, he could go either way, but it didn't matter, at least in my opinion. And it's just basically, you knew a Marly Marl sound. I think what cats need to do is, like I said, check the discography. Remember, the man brought you the bridge, MC Shan. I think definitely gotta pay homage to him, because, like I said, without him we wouldn't have the Manny Fresh, Scott Scorch, and all these other cats, because they wasn't even thought of. They weren't even around in terms of producing, that is. They weren't even on the radar. So, we definitely gotta pay respects to that man. So for the hip hop beat maker, do your digging. You know what I'm saying? One. Hello everybody, KOS for the Hip Hop Beat Maker Show. As you can see, we're talking about Waves plugins. Waves plugins are basically the industry standard in audio editing. I mean, you can't begin to talk about audio editing without talking about Waves plugins. From the digital, from the diamond to the gold to the platinum, and even for the guitarist, the GTR. I mean, it's pricey, $2,000 or more, somewhere in that vicinity. But if you attempted to record your product right from the beginning, and you've had a little problems here and there, you can use the restoration, with the crackle and the hum. I mean, Waves plugins is meant to enhance a decent recording. I mean, you start off with crap, it's very, very hard to do anything with crap. It just really is. But if you made a halfway attempt, it sounds decent, then Waves plugins for you. It's more of a subtle thing, and that's why we use it. So, if you get a chance, demo it out, see how it works for you. KOS, Hip Hop Beat Maker Show, you know how we do. One.